Here are some of the things that I will probably do if I was going to exit Nairobi. You see, the last video I talked about how I left Nairobi. There are things that probably you're wondering, where do I even begin if I was to do this? If you want to do anything, you always look at it from the perspective of how am I going to set myself up there, or how am I going to make money when I move, or how can I be able to do that when I'm tied by a job in Nairobi? That sometimes can be a very mind-boggling question. Most people want to move out of Nairobi because of probably financial freedom, because of mental health, because of just getting to a place where you have a slower life than what you're used to. Okay, especially for people like millennials who have always lived their life in a fast pace, because you are taught to you have to do this. There's always a set standard according to the society norm for what you need to do in life. So we are exhausted, guys. I always feel like millennials are exhausted. So I feel like sometimes people want to move out of Nairobi because of the exhaustion of you have always been running after ensuring you live a certain life according to your parents. So the first thing I would want to tell you, if you make now all these are my suggestion of if you want to do this move, where do you start? You have to choose a specific town for you. Okay, you have to be considerate of all aspects. Is it possible for you to integrate to the society that you choose, like the town that you choose? Okay, because also you see, you don't want to go somewhere and then you find out you cannot even integrate with the society. You don't want to go and then look like an outsider. You have to look at the cost of living in that town, because you see there are towns that are very expensive than Nairobi, guys. There's no accessibility to school, there's no accessibility to hospital, there's no accessibility to transport. And also I want to emphasize here, you might not get everything the way you want. It might not be to the standard that you want, which is okay. I told you guys, you choose your struggle. Okay, so you have to look at this is important than this. Okay, probably I don't mind about the transport, like you don't find Uber here, like you can't find Uber to go where you're going, but are you okay with that? If you have your own personal car, you see that is not a factor, even if you go to a place where there's no Uber. So you have to choose your top priorities, like this and this and this has to be there for me to feel like it's a comfortable move. Okay, but also you have to realize you will not get everything that you're looking for at the same time, like, because again we said this is not Nairobi. You're moving away from all the possibility of accessibility to amenities to the standard that you are used to. Okay, you also are looking at do you want to move to that place temporarily, or you want to move to that place where you can settle? So coming here initially was to make sure I look at the land rates. How much are the land going for? When you go to source for where you want to relocate, you also have to consider the land prices in that area. Is it something that is affordable for you? Okay, we said, guys, I'm going to say this on this channel, we talk about money and being able to do things debt free. So for me, when I was coming to look for land here, I had to make sure it's within something that I can be able to buy. The land prices was a factor for me. Okay, because there are places that the land is available but you cannot be able to afford. So when I came here and I looked for the land, I came the first time I came here, looked for the land, I saw the prices, then I went back to Nairobi. I said, okay, so this is the much that is required for me to buy land. Guys, I know most people will ask, why didn't you buy in Nairobi or something? It was not an option for me. The way I've said, it was not an option for me to buy in Nairobi. Number one, with the issues of land now and then, like you buy a place and then you come to find out that it was not the same land has been sold to several buyers, yeah, or the prices, guys. I told you I'm a one household income, so the prices of the land or how much I was going to spend to buy the land was a major factor. I was not going to come here and then put myself into another financial burden because of how much I was going to pay towards the land. Okay, the good thing about buying land outside Nairobi is that most cases you're going to find the owner of the land. So this is to say, guys, when you identify and you move to a place, or you decide to go to a place outside Nairobi, there's a high chance that the owner might sell for you the land in installment. They can agree to sell, or if you know someone in that area where you're going, or that town that you're going, you might find someone who knows the owner of the land, and they might be able to give you a payment plan. That is a high possibility. So it's not always that you have to have 1 million, 2 million for you to buy the land. If they can give you a payment plan which is very accommodative for you, then you see, now you're working in Nairobi knowing every month I have to pay this person 20,000, okay, or I have to pay this person 30,000, depending on the agreement between you and the owner. The second thing, the third or the fourth thing that I will suggest, guys, is that make sure you clear all your debts now. Okay, so now this idea of you moving out of Nairobi has already imprinted in your mind. You want to do this thing, okay, but you see, you also have probably running debts already. You have just to change the location and carry the same burden of debt, a car debt, I don't know which debts you have, to carry them all over here. You're going to experience the same burden that you're feeling when you're in Nairobi, okay? Especially if it's a financial burden. So you're not going to experience financial freedom, you're not going to experience slow living, you're not going to experience the peace of mind, because you've carried your burden, your financial burden, to another city. So it's just location that has changed, but all the problems that you're experiencing in Nairobi are coming with you to another town. What debts am I currently having? Okay, so you can write down those debts and then start thinking, okay, I want to move, I'm really craving to change the environment, but it might not be possible in the coming year. It might not be possible in the next 2 years until I'm capable of paying down this debt. You see, this is something that I like. When something imprints in your mind and something becomes a reality, you can almost taste it in your mouth. There's nothing that is going to hinder you from getting to where you want to go, okay? So if that means that you start cutting your expenses right now in your current situation, and you're seeing that I cannot be able to pay debt aggressively, guys. For me, I always tell people, if you're going to pay debt, pay your debt aggressively. Debt is such a burden for you to pay within 6 years, 7 years. You carry this debt, so there's nothing that you can do, guys. So if you need to cut your cost. This is your dream, this is your life that you're living, okay? So short-term discomfort for long-term freedom is important. That is, guys, that is a decision that you have to make. For me, if the thought of having a debt for 2-3 years weighs on me so much, I feel like I'm anxious all the time. I feel so tired. I like something at the back of I feel like I'm always carrying a burden on my back. So for me, I know how I carry debt, and I don't carry debt nicely. I don't carry debt gracefully. And something else you have to consider when you decide you want to pay off debt or you want to move, I will suggest, and things that I have done continuously, is to do a no spend year, guys. And when I say no spend year, guys, no shoes, no clothes, no Christmas, nothing in that. I never bought anything in that house for that 1 year. Yeah, nothing except basic needs, guys. And let me tell you, I know you're going to think about basic needs, and you're thinking we are going to still have a meal plan of chicken and fish and meat and eggs. That thing is not. That is not a no spend year. A no spend year means radically cutting your cost. One day in a week we are going to eat meat, another day in a week we are going to eat chicken, but you're not going to have this thing of buying chicken and meat and sausage and everything. That is not a no spend. That is you're still living in luxury, guys. You see, most money is hidden in our day-to-day life. No, you have to come to a realization that this thing has to happen. And if I'm committed to the journey, if I'm committed to this journey, it means some things have to go. Very uncomfortable. It's better for you to put yourself in a very uncomfortable situation willingly than someone else having to put you in that discomfort. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like the things that you think that you cannot live with, buy them because you have the income. If the income stops, then the things that you thought you cannot live without, now you're living without. You can tell your kids, no, we are not having, you can choose Blueband or jam. We cannot buy Blueband, jam and peanut. That's not going to happen in this house. They will adjust, guys. I'm telling you, they will adjust. nothing will happen. Okay, you can do a lot of things with what you have. Okay, and if you don't train yourself to use what you have to get what you want, even if I give you 200,000, 300,000, nothing is going to happen. Okay, so for me, it was with this income that I'm having, this small income that I'm getting, things have to move for me. Okay? If I cut some things here and there, it's okay. Okay, so doing a no spend challenge can also work for you. So also something else I realized is that when you decide to do this move, fear is going to engulf you. Fear is going to come from all sides, and your mind is going to play tricks on you. Why do you want to move? You're going to start questioning, because you see, your mind wants to keep you in a place where it's familiar with. When you decide to do this move, it's important that you don't tell a lot of people. And not to say that it's a bad thing to tell people. It's because already when you make this decision, you're already confused. Your mind is playing tricks on you. So if you add other people onto this move, it might be a very challenging thing for you to accomplish. So when I decided to move, I was scared. I was very scared, guys. I was really, really scared. But I decided to put a date on it. I told myself, you have to put a date on this move, because you will keep on looking for a way not to go. So I put a date. I said, this date is the day I'm going to move. Okay? And I told myself, I even organized, I made sure I organized people who are going to come and move me on that date. I said, come on this day at 6 a.m. Because I said, if I wait until 12, I might change my mind. Or maybe let me wait until this thing is working so that I can do this. Or let me wait until I establish or I get this amount of income before I do this. So a lot of things are going to come to you, or you have to face a lot of things. But let me tell you, you can never have everything in order for you to make a change. There's always something that looks like a loose thread, and you're going to move scared. You're going to move with fear. You're going to move not knowing how you're going to survive the other end. I'm telling you firsthand, the fear will engulf you. The fear will be there, but we move with the fear. I'm going to say this here. When you transition to the city, the town, the small, because this is now, small towns means community. It's not like Nairobi where we don't care about our neighbors, we don't care what is happening, nobody asks you what you're doing. So when you transition to a new small town, it means community is paramount. You cannot move with the same mentality. Here it's everyone for themselves, and on this other side it's a community thing. Even if you're not someone who likes community, you have to get yourself out of the comfort zone, because you see, you cannot go to a different town, a different city, and decide that you want to be a loner. Community thrives more in small towns than big cities. Do not undermine the ability of the community to help you be able to do things that much easier than you'll have done if you're far away. They sort of know things that you don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Don't move with the mindset of, I'm coming here to show who I. We have this, when you're coming from Nairobi, you have this speed, this thing to want to do things and show people how it's done. That's a wrong mentality. I'm telling you, it will not work. It might cost you. Guys, let me tell you something. When you decide to charter a different path for yourself, challenges will be there. So for you to decide to make a move, you also have to change your mindset. Yeah, change your mindset that, people are going to think, because she's downside because she doesn't have money. So people are going to say they moved out of Nairobi because they are suffering financially. So people are going to say she decided. If you decide to make any move, you also have to decenter people. You know what you want for yourself. If it means for me to build a small house debt-free, I'm going to do exactly that. I will not put myself in a position where I carry a burden just to show I can. I will do things according to my ability and my financial standing. The naysayer and the people who have the idea of what I should build, they are not helping me in any way. Whatever you're doing is for you, to benefit you. If you decide to build 2 rooms because that's what you can afford, you have to also stand on that. I have 200,000. I'm going to build something that is worth 200,000. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.